So we begin by looking at the question of what the definition is of economics. What do we mean by economics? And of course, in everyday life, we use this word in a variety of different ways. But we should be careful about using it in this course in a precise way. So let's make a few points pertaining to that. A very famous definition of economics comes from the English economist Lionel Robbins. Lionel Robbins was a student of economics in the 1930s, and he is associated with what would today be called the Austrian School of Economics, which is today a little bit of a fringe school, but still has some real importance. But his definition of economics has had a great deal of influence, and it is the following definition. Economics is the social science, the social study, which examines how people use their scarce resources to satisfy their unlimited wants. Very famous definition. So, what are the implications of this definition? Well, first of all, one implication is that the resources that we have available to us are always scarce. Scarce means that there simply isn't an unlimited quantity. So we'll see in the course of this class that the scarcity of resources is the principal reason, the primary reason, that goods and services have a price. If they were not scarce, if they were freely available without payment, if they were of unlimited quantity, then they wouldn't require a price and they wouldn't have a price. So that captures the idea of scarcity. There simply is a limited amount of these goods and services that are desirable. The second part of the definition that's important to understand is the idea that our wants are, so far as economics is concerned, unlimited. Now, this doesn't mean that we in fact have unlimited desires, but simply that it becomes possible for us to want more and more and more given any amount of goods or services that we already have. We can always want more of them. And so, in that sense, our wants are unlimited, but at any given time, we only have a certain amount of wants. But that can grow. So, thinking about the fact that resources are scarce and that our wants are, in the sense I just described, unlimited, then the question becomes, how do these resources get allocated? How do they get allocated to different individuals who have different abilities, means, savings, wealth, and so forth? So the question of how goods and services are allocated, to whom, and by whom shall these goods and services be made? This is the basic problem of economics. Let's try now to get a better understanding of this idea of a scarce resource. And one way to get a better understanding of this concept is to think about a resource that is not scarce. And a good example of a resource that is not scarce would be something like air. Now, air doesn't have a price because it is essentially freely available. That is to say, anyone can breathe it. No one can prevent other people from breathing it, and so it is not scarce and doesn't have a price. Another example might be something like seawater, which we can take away from the ocean without any price. No one's going to charge us a price. Possibly a tax, but that's very unlikely. So the idea of a scarce resource is one which has a price exceeding zero because it is available in a lesser quantity than every possible consumer would wish to take it in, so that it has to be somehow apportioned or allocated. Let's talk now a bit more about the idea of resources, which we've now mentioned. And this term resources has a number of meanings, but the principal resources we're referring to in economics are what we call inputs or factors of production. These are, if you like, sort of the basic given resources that are available to the human race in our effort to produce the material things that we want. And generally in economics, we call these factors of production, sometimes called inputs. Ultimately, these factors of production are used to produce goods and services. So principally, the factors of production might be labor, land, meaning natural resources, those that come from the earth and from the planet that are givens, and what we call capital. And capital plays a large role in economics.